and the Tribune newspaper this morning for some of the major headlines. From the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, importation wipes out 90 rice mills. Hospital protocols, the daily battle of Nigerians, how underground gunsmiths drive Nigeria's insecurity. I believe our pieces there out of the Daily Trust. Importation wipes out 90 rice mills. All right, we'll take another one. The truth about Abacha loot, Professor Munzali Jibril. Why more women are in Ogun Guber race. Tinubu establishes Presidential Petroleum Reform Task Force, ADC. 63% poverty is Tinubu's scorecard. Ozekume passport bearing Tali Shani is fake, EFCC witness. From the Daily Post newspaper now, Tinubu establishes Presidential Task Force to design new reforms in petrol sector. Many fed killed as suspected headsmen attack Benue community. FAC releases 1.894 trillion naira to federal government, states, local governments as February revenue. Other headlines: Karota demand solutions to heavy congestion on Zaria Road. Algon chairman calls for suspension of Ado Dogua over death of resident. Nigeria shrouded in contradiction, Peter Obi. Some other headlines here: new electoral laws weaken ethical leadership in Nigeria, Peter Obi. We remain intact till 2028, Ogun PDP chair kicks against dissolution. Ireti Kingibe given 100 million naira before FCT polls, but we didn't see anything, ADC chairman alleges. 2027 Senate not for newcomers, homeboys. Chief Essien. Adamawa South Senator Yaro defects to ADC. PDP is dead. Akpabio mocks opposition parties as senators defect. Some business-related stories out of the Daily Post. CBN limits mobile banking apps to one device. Introduces new instant payment rules. Lagos NAGAFF raises alarm over unilateral shipping charge hikes at Apapa ports. Dangote refinery again increases petrol price to 1,175 naira per litre. Again, crude oil prices surge above $100 per barrel. From the Punch newspaper now, Benue thugs abduct mortuary attendant, stop mass burial. Lagos father in court for defiling daughter. Close monitoring shaped my son's success, Mrs. Ananaba. Gunmen burnt my nephew after forcing passengers to identify themselves. Uncle. FAC shares 1.894 trillion naira February revenue to federal government. Others. Nighthawks. Travails of Lagos kids trading childhood to survive. It's a Saturday feature piece out of the Punch. Popular pastor Agbala Gabriel battles fraud, sex allegation. Find that on the Metro Plus pages of the Punch. Petrol import ban divides marketers after Dangote hikes price. Storm over Chimamanda's son's death as doctors demand apology. Some business-related stories out of the Punch. Hold states, local governments accountable. Tinubu tells media executives. Tinubu overrules Kiamo, moves Safety Investigation Bureau to presidency. NUPRC enforces drill or drop rule for oil blocks. Some politics-related stories. 2027 APC group warns against fielding weak candidates in Oyo, Lagos, Ogun. SDP. IPAC insist on electoral review after meeting Tinubu. PDP remains strong opposition in Ondo, says chairman. 2027, MKO Abiola's daughter predicts resounding victory for Tinubu. Iyabo Obasanjo vows improved living conditions for Ogun residents. Fubara inspects road projects, sets May for inauguration. Take a look at the Vanguard newspaper now. Oil and gas communities group backs Tinubu for second term. Akpabio inaugurates APC convention subcommittee, charges members on success. SDP state chairman urge continued member sensitization ahead of 2027 elections. Tinubu urges media to hold states, local governments accountable like his administration. FG states local governments share 1.894 trillion naira February revenue. I have made many mistakes in my life. Tonto Dike. Troops clear 11 IEDs. Reopen Imo Road abandoned for years. School confirms bullying, expels student in viral video. Suspected headsmen kill 15, injure several in Benue community. 3 sentenced to death for murder of Rivers pharmacist. 1 gets life. Planned protest over erratic power supply in Anambra suspended. I'll take off some other ones. UK government warns petrol retailers against unfair practices during Iran war. Ogun PDP denies the solution of state executive, dismisses social media claim. Iran defiant, US vows even heavier bombing. Naira appreciates to 1,410 naira in parallel market. From the Premium Times newspaper now, CBN bars big borrowers with non-performing loans from accessing additional credit from banks. How fuel subsidy removal worsened Nigeria's poverty levels, reports. Insecurity, what we told Tinubu service chiefs. 4 in 10 Nigerian adults live with hypertension, report. US-Israel-Iran war, day 14, 3.2 million people displaced in Iran. Other headlines here. Tinubu establishes task force on petroleum sector reform. JAMB disowns law admissions at Nigerian private university. Experts call for gender-responsive policies to combat drug-resistant infections. Move over to the Guardian newspaper now. Nigerians bemoan rising transport cost as crude price surge above $100 per barrel. Presence of African fighters in Ukraine war challenges Russian narrative. Some other headlines here. Experts advocate sustained investment in Nigeria's digital economy. Oil well disputes. Eba Island belongs to Ogun Waterside Local Government Foundation. And this one says mining marshals commander files 20 billion naira defamation lawsuit against lawyer journalist. All right, we delve into the analysis of the headlines now. Joining me this morning for the analysis is Austin Udumo. Good morning, Austin. It's great to have you join us.
Kenny, good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, welcome, Austin. It's great to have you again on the show. Let's start off with this one from the Daily Post. Nigeria shrouded in contradiction. Peter Obi, the former Labour Party presidential candidate, has said Nigeria is facing a troubling contradiction. Obi said this in a statement posted on his verified X handle. He was reacting to the removal of certificate forgery, age falsification, and false declarations by the National Assembly as grounds for challenging an election in a tribunal. I'll take a quote from him. Nigeria is facing a troubling contradiction. The same lawmakers who have proposed a fine of 10 million naira and up to 2 years in prison for dual political party membership have simultaneously removed certificate forgery, age falsification, and false declarations as grounds for challenging an election in a tribunal. The situation raises a fundamental question about the priorities of our political system. We cannot continue to tolerate criminal behavior. Those are the words of Peter Obi there. Austin, let's have your reaction to that.
Yeah, it amounts to rewarding bad behavior, for example, and that will go a long way to promote incredible people into office. How do I mean? Before now, when petition gets to the courts, especially petition tribunal, election in the past have been nullified on the basis of certificate forgery or eligibility, when eligibility documents are forged. But now, incidentally, the National Assembly has removed that when you go to the court to contest the outcome of an election, you should be able to prove your case electorally, not other matter. We have seen in recent past where election decisions are taken purely on technicalities, not on election or the conduct of the exercise per se. Look at the case of Ondo State, for example, between Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu late and 𝐒𝐈𝐒 𝐃𝐈𝐒. 𝐒𝐈𝐒 𝐃𝐈𝐒 did not go to court that he won that election. He went to the court that Akeredolu did not properly emerge from his party, and the court scolded him that amounted to a meddlesome interloper, that he does not suffer any injury or damage by the conduct of another political party. I just cite that as an example. Look at the case of David Leod, for example, in Bayelsa State. The deputy has issue with certificates, and the Supreme Court at that time decided to nullify the election that brought them to power. The Supreme Court did not even allow the governor to be inaugurated. A lot of questions were raised at that time that if a deputy forged a certificate, deputies should be dealt with. Now, the National Assembly has removed that clause. In my view, it is promoting impunity, because what that means is that apart from the fact that you have gone to school, in the case of Buhari, the tribunal told us that you don't even need to pass your O level. You only need to have evidence that you sat for it, that you attended, like a testimonial. So now the National Assembly is saying that what your certificate does not matter again. I still believe that this case will still be contested, because people will go to court if you have issue, because issue of forgery is against the law. So you can go to court on the issue of forgery, but what the National Assembly has done is that election will no longer be nullified based on certificate forgery. You understand?
Right.
That is one of the problems I have with these opposition people. When they passed this electoral acts, they did not read this electoral acts. They only took placard and went to Abuja to be protesting for real-time transmission. There were a lot of other things in the electoral act. Is becoming clearer to the people now. Peter Obi also referred to dual citizenship, dual membership of a political party.
Right.
I align myself completely with him. National Assembly feel that they want to sanitize the system. On one hand, they are trying to play dissent. On the other hand, they are trying to play the devil's advocate. You impose a fine of 10 million or a 2-year jail time, or even both, for dual membership of a political party. Now you excluded certificate forgery. But like I said, if your election, if you think you win election, it shouldn't be purely on technicalities, for example. But this issue of certificate forgery, on the other hand, is also like rewarding impunity. Anybody that forged certificates should go for it. There is a penalty prescribed by the law. I think for forgery, it's about 14 years imprisonment. That can apply. But to now say that you are separating it from the election petition, that election petition tribunal will no longer nullify election based on certificate forgery. I think the National Assembly needs to really come out very clearly. Maybe you want the issue of certificate forgery to be tried separately, should not go to election tribunal, so that election petition tribunal will solely be dedicated to issues that borders on election, voting, result of election, and the outcome of the election in terms of substantial compliance with the Electoral Act. It's like giving a child with something on the left hand and using the right hand to collect it. So opposition must always shine their eyes. You can see now that the issue of real-time transmission is not even the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
A lot of revelations are coming out on a daily basis. And this is the opposition that continue to release statements. They told us yesterday that their strategy is to remove the president. They told us again today that their strategy is to remove the president. Must you tell us your strategy? Go to the field, mobilize people, remove him. Is the beauty of democracy. So I think the National Assembly on that clause, one, they need to come out very clearly, and the way it's looking on the surface, it shows that they are trying to reward bad behavior in terms of impunity.
All right, Austin, let's take a look at this one. Armed attackers kill 15 villagers harvesting cashew in Benue. That's the report we're getting out of the papers this morning. Armed attackers on Friday reportedly killed at least 15 villagers during an assault on Ojantele community in Apa local government area of Benue State. Witnesses said the victims were among residents who had gone into a nearby bush to harvest falling cashew nuts following overnight rainfall. According to residents, the victims, mostly women and youths from neighboring communities, including Asaba, were gathering cashew nuts around Ogaulu. I hope I got that. When the attackers suddenly opened fire on them. Your reaction to this one? Another tragic one. Insecurity issues still persist.
Yeah, the insecurity is still very much with us. It's unfortunately so that we're having it in Kwara, we're having it in so many parts of the country, and this latest one is coming from Benue. We must do the needful. It's not just enough to let us know that, we are weakening their structure, we are weakening their powers. Once they still have the capacity to launch attack, they still pose a greater threat to the community. So we are calling on the chief of the Minister of Defense, General Musa. He has done it before, he can do it again. He has the capacity. He's one of those few Nigerians that his appointment met street validation, public validation. A lot of people welcomed his appointment. A lot of people respected his appointment. There were hardly no dissenting voices as far as his appointment was concerned. That is based on his credibility. So we want him to do more. The military is trying their best. That's the truth of the matter. But the situation we find ourselves is just that no matter what you do, until and unless people become safer, our community become relatively safe, it will amount to not doing anything. Because come to think of it, the evidence that you have a farm is the produce, right? When you go to the farm, you can't continue to tell somebody, I tell you, Kenny, As I pass through your house, I always go to the farm. I don't need to really let you know that. But at times, if you see me bringing my produce home, you will know I was coming from the farm, right?
Yeah.
So the military really need to do more. The government need to sit up. Let's develop strategy. I said it yesterday. We must develop capacity to also take the battle to these guys. I know they are doing that, but we shouldn't always wait until attack happen. Then we'll just become mere reactionary to some of this attack. Let us fuel attack. Let us gather intelligence in such a way that before this attack happen, we are right on top of the situation. It's unfortunate that we have this on our hand, and we call on the authorities to do more so that the people will have relative security in their various communities.
All right, Austin, let's have your reaction to the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, having mocked the opposition for their disarray on the floor of the Senate during plenary. He said the PDP is gone, a statement that has got a lot of people reacting online. As he read, Akpabio paused, visibly amused by the state of the opposition, and made light of their internal struggles, saying, "Oh, PDP is gone." That's the reports we're having. He was reading the official defection letter from former governor of Sokoto State and current Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwal.
Yeah, no doubt PDP is gone. PDP is gone. It's unfortunately so. PDP used to be a very big political party with a lot of cohesion, with a lot of dominance in terms of their presence. But today it's just like a shadow of itself. And excuse me, all the people that have become something under PDP, all of them are to blame for this. Akpabio too should not also exonerate himself. PDP gave him all he wanted. PDP brought him to limelight, but he also left the PDP. So when you leave a party, other people leave a party, and some people make up their mind to even destroy the party. How can the party survive? So I think the current leadership of the PDP in recent time, they are just out to really destroy the PDP, nothing more. Because how can you fight for power to the extent of destroying the house? Because without the party, what structure do you control? What power do you control? So for me, somebody like Akpabio, of course, is on the other side today. The grass is greener where he is now. But the truth of the matter is that there is no way you can talk about Akpabio political history without adducing a larger part of his life as a politician to date to the People's Democratic Party. So re-echoing it that PDP is gone, I think it's just like re-echoing the obvious. It's also part of the rot. I think he also said in one of the pieces that the president inherited a foamy economy. Well, whatever he meant by that, I don't know. But the truth of the matter is that the economy before this administration was already battered. We all know that. And Akpabio too was also part of those governments. He was part of the PDP government. He was part of the APC government. Because in 2015 he was elected senator. He cross-carpeted to the APC and he became minister under the APC. So he was part of the rot of the administration that the president inherited. So he that want to throw a stone, he that lives in a glass house should not throw a stone. That's the issue of Akpabio here. Because even the Holy Book says that before I tell you that something is in your eye, I should also check my own eye. Because charity should begin from home. Then lastly, Aminu Tambuwal defended the defection. The other time he said politicians that are defending because of stomach infrastructure. And if you talk about defection in Nigeria political history, based on 1999 date, Fourth Republic, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal is part of emeritus defectors in Nigeria's current political history. So, but politicians, you know the way they behave, right? When it favors them, it's victory for democracy. If it does not favor them, democracy has been massacred. The other time some people cross-carpeted, he said it is for stomach infrastructure. Now we expect Tambuwal to tell us what type of infrastructure that is driving him to leave the PDP and go to the ADC. We wish all of them good luck, but the truth of the matter is that people who were part of our problem should not come and gaslight the problem for us. So that is my take on that.
Headline here from the Punch: Hold states, local governments accountable. Tinubu tells media executives. President Bola Tinubu has urged media executives to extend the same level of scrutiny they apply to his administration to states and local governments. A quote from him says, local governments are now getting their money, but how they use it is in your hands, so don't bombard me alone. Austin, the president is saying that look at the local governments now, and not just me. How do you react to that?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. The president has said this before. Some of our callers who called this morning and also criticized the president. The level at which we mount pressure on the president and the federal government, if we do so for state and local government, well, Nigeria will be a better place for all of us. That's the truth. Some of us, our governors, they are committing atrocity. Yet we come on radio to praise them. We celebrate them. But if these things are coming from the center, we will condemn it. Some of us, we always engage in selective amnesia. You know, if the people that we like do something that is wrong, we will defend them. But if it is people that we don't like, maybe politically or what have you, we'll criticize them. So the president is saying the obvious. Local government are getting more money. States are getting more money. They are getting more than what they used to get. Some of the states are trying, in all honesty. But the way we channel our energy on various media platforms to bombard the president, to bombard the federal government, if we dissipate such energy on state and local government, Nigeria will become better off. Some of us, if the federal government, if there's a law by the National Assembly, we go all out, we condemn, we criticize. Do you know that, Kenny, you and I, most of the time, we don't even know when state laws are passed. I don't know whether you get the point I'm making.
No.
You don't even know. The other time, the president sent the tax bill. The governors, through the Nigerian Economic Council, they looked at it. They said the president should withdraw it. What audacity. Do you even get to hear some of the legislation that states are putting in place? We don't know. They will just go to the house, they will sign it. We have seen a state in Nigeria that signed a budget, that passed a budget of over 1 trillion within 48 hours. Over 1 trillion budget. Can that happen at the federal level? If it is at the federal level, we will say we have never seen it before. So these are some of the things. That does not also exonerate the president. The president should lead by example, because come to think of it, the idea of sending governors to you and I has never really worked for the system, because we know those governors, they use these resources to build a war chest, to build a financial capital for themselves. Which of to say that there are some social services that the federal government can render to you and I that can be delivered to us directly without passing through third party, which are the governors. So this assertion is a statement of fact. However, it does not exonerate the president from continuous delivery of the dividends of democracy. On the flip side, we also need to beam our satellite on our local government and our states.
All right, Austin, what do you make of the president's presidential petroleum reform task force that has been put together? The president has just approved that particular task force. They say it's a time-bound, high-level executive working group tasked with producing execution-ready reform blueprints that will consolidate ongoing reforms, unlock capital within the petroleum sector, and all of that. What do you make of that task force?
It's a welcome development. I just hope that at the end of the day, this president will be able to fix the petroleum sector. From all indication, the president is doing well. He's doing a lot in terms of fixing the rot within the petroleum sector. If we are able to do that, close to 10% of our financial problem will be solved. So the president is working in that direction. I agree that a task force is needed to harmonize, galvanize all of the various reforms in the downstream petroleum sector, most especially. But my worry is this: what informed the choice of Paula Adeola, for example? Paula Adeola is a seasoned corporate governance administrator. He's a co-founder of a leading bank in Nigeria. He is one of the respected people for me in the corporate world. Somebody who served one time as a CEO of a leading financial institution and voluntarily withdrew, where some of his colleagues at that time wanted to even die there. Some of them, they left as MD, they became chairman of those banks. That is just by the way. But the truth of the matter is that, in my view, personal opinion, the president should have looked for a seasoned oil and gas expert. A seasoned oil and gas expert. Paula Adeola is a finance person. In my view, he does not have experience in oil and gas. Or maybe a seasoned administrator, maybe a very strong and reputable lawyer, somebody who can bring some level of sanity, some level of accountability. I'm not saying that Paula Adeola is not competent, but the truth of the matter is that you need somebody that understands the terrain, the system. I said the president is taking some step that looks like he's trying to fix the rot in the oil sector, because the president has a vast background in the oil sector. So I'm not surprised if at the end of the day he gets it right in that sector. That is his field. That is his area of core competence, area of specialization. But this appointment by Paula Adeola, I wonder why the choice of him. Because in my view, like I said, it will have been somebody who is very familiar, who has been a key and a strong player in the oil and gas sector. That is my submission. But as far as putting up a task force together to implement some sensitive and strategic reform in the sector is a welcome development. I only have reservation with the choice of the individuals that have been mentioned.
All right, also in the Punch newspaper this morning, there's a report about the power crisis and the blackout that has ensued from the gas shortages, crippling power generation, and all of that. Lots of states, experiencing that right now. Sokoto, Kano is in that report. 1 hour power in Kano, none in Sokoto. Austin, how long are Nigerians going to have to expect this? When is a solution going to come out of this?
Kenny, the truth of the matter is that we don't know. It's a hard question that you have asked. It's a whole lot of problem. We have gas constraint, we have weak infrastructure, we have pricing system, we have energy theft, we have yes, I said it earlier, weak infrastructure. So there's a whole lot of problem within that particular sector. Let's take pricing for example. In as much as we need to get adequate pricing, but I think the handler of the Ministry of Power feels that, it really had to be too expensive before it can be available. Yeah, I know that it's not cheap. Energy is not cheap anywhere in the world, but it does not make any economic sense for people to pay more for electricity in Nigeria per month than in Toronto, for example. It doesn't really make any economic sense. So we have to really do more. In terms of gas constraint, we know the problem, right? We are trying to measure up, but it is not there yet. But we also have to look at the issue of governance. I think the federal government has been able to achieve that. Licenses has been given in terms of approval to states to develop their energy blueprint and energy capacity. That can also help us at the long run. Look at the issue of legacy debt, for example. When these guys came on board, the GENCOs, they said the federal government was owing them, I think, about 6 trillion. The president said, I'm not going to pay you guys 6 trillion. Let there be a forensic audit.
Also,
when they concluded the audit,
please, we'll have to take a commercial now. I'll let you wrap up your thoughts when we return. We'll take that commercial breakdown. You stay with us. 32 FM.
32 FM 94.9.
wọ́n sọ pé ọkàn ẹni la fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ jùlọ ní oṣù Ramadan ṣùgbọ́n nígbà mìíràn ọkàn ẹni nílò ìgboyà díẹ̀ láti sọ pé mo wà fún ọ nítorí pé ní àsìkò yìí ìpínfúnni kò ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ nìkan ó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú fífi okun fún ẹni tí agbára rẹ̀ ò tó àti ìṣoore fún ẹni tí ò retí rẹ̀.
ó ṣeun gan ni Aisha.
bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ ni irú ìṣe yìí máa di àkókò tí ẹ̀yin méjèèjì yóò máa rántí nínú oṣù Ramadan yìí wọ́n kàn ṣe ìpínfúnni nìkan ṣá ní ìbáṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú ṣe ìpínfúnni tó ju oúnjẹ lọ ṣe ìpínfúnni àkókò rẹ Ramadan Kareem láti ọ̀dọ̀ Hollandia máa ṣáájú pẹ̀lú agbára wàrà.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. This Ramadan, Kivo Non-Dairy Creamer joins families across Nigeria in prayer, reflection, and unity. From iftar to Soho, enrich every cup of tea, coffee, custard, or pap with Kivo creamy goodness.
At sunset, as loved ones gather for iftar, make every moment richer, smoother, and tastier with Kivo Non-Dairy Creamer.
Kivo Non-Dairy Creamer. Make this Ramadan a good time moment.
Màámi, tẹ́ ẹ bá rí bí mo ṣe fọ ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ wò ó mọ́ gidi gan ni. Ó lè mọ́ lójú lóòótọ́, ṣùgbọ́n lílo hypo toilet cleaner túbọ̀ máa pa àwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí tó wà níbẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, má gbà fáwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí, dáàbò bo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ rẹ lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú hypo toilet cleaner.
This Ramadan, emotions ignite. Can rival sisters overcome pride? Will a defiant daughter find forgiveness? Can a bride's faith save her husband? A businessman rediscovers family. An influencer chooses between friends and fame. A single mom discovers even strength needs support.
6 stories, 30 days. Faith, family, friendship, food, forgiveness. Tales of Ramadan Season 2. Catch every dramatic moment on TV and digital. This Ramadan, Maggie turns up the heat.
Me and Maggie, so good together.
They say the heart speaks loudest in Ramadan. But sometimes the heart just needs a little courage to say, I am here for you. Because in this month, sharing isn't only about food. It's about offering strength when someone's running low and kindness when someone least expects it.
Oh, Aisha, thank you so much.
And just like that, a simple act becomes a moment you both remember. This Ramadan, don't just give, connect. Share more than meals. Share moments. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia. Stay ahead with Dairy Power.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome back. Still the papers review. Austin, you want to continue with your thoughts on the power crisis and your comments?
Yeah, it's a big problem that we are having in the sector. I was talking about the legacy debt that has been sorted now. I think we need somebody who has more of technical know-how to handle the power ministry. Of course, there are associated and inherited problems within that ministry, but I feel that the current leadership of that ministry has not really done enough in terms of taking audacious steps to really solve the problem. The president should add on those who are critical players, those who knows the system. There is something with those who have technical know-how. For example, if you have a technical know-how, there are things you can do on your own. It's just like maybe a contractor, you learn a trade, you know how to do the trades, and eventually you now became a contractor as a result of growth. There are some things you will be able to still fix on your own at the site. You'll be able to make informed corrections, adequate correction, unlike somebody who do not even have the technical know-how at all. Because if you don't have the technical know-how, you rely on some other people's opinion, and whatever they advise is what you do. And if care is not taken, it will amount to garbage in, garbage out. And the power ministry is too strategic. Give us power, for example, and most of our problems are solved. There is no nation that has ever developed without fixing their power sector. It's a catalyst to a robust industrial development. So I think the federal government needs to do more in terms of that ministry. We have factors that are external. We have factors that are internal. Some are controllable, some are not controllable. But we must be able to bring to bear our area of comparative advantage to be able to deal with the situation. I believe we can solve the problem. Egypt was able to solve their problem. We have some other smaller African countries that were able to sort out their energy crisis. We should be able to do ours too, because we have the markets. The market is so vast and enormous in Nigeria.
All right, we open the phone lines now. Let's have your reactions to the headlines this morning. Sorry. 0705 5949, 0809 7949, 0906 2949. Those are the numbers. Again, 0705 5949, 0809 7949, 0906 2949. We're also live on Facebook. That's at 32FM 949 Ibadan on Facebook. Hello, good morning. All right, please try again. 0906 2949, 0705 5949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
This is Bumi calling from Apasa. Out of crude, we see so many things. Under it was Nigerians, or always focus on the oil. And other gas, gasoline, and others, where citizens should also enjoy as well. Government is still taking it away from the people. You see, most especially the ruling class lied a lot to us about the issues surrounding the oil sector in Nigeria. How would they be lying to us? How would they be lying to? When would Nigeria enjoy their government? We sacrificed during the 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari. Now we are sacrificing. We continue the sacrificing under President Bola Tinubu despite his promises. May God open the eyes of these leaders and play politics to better this country. Prince Bumi Adefusi calling from Apata.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. 0705 5949, 0906 2949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
A day from you. I say good morning to Augustine too. On this petrol stuff, to me,
we're getting an echo from your end. I don't know what's happening.
You see better now? Well, I personally, I don't think the president will have the understanding of governance of that sector. Then number two, this question I want our own analyst to explain to me. How possible is it only Abia State is able to fix the light of their own state, and the Nigeria government cannot. How did 𝐒𝐈𝐒 do it? Can the president learn from him, or is it not possible? I want Augustine to explain to us, because it's always funny to me. Let's have the best of the day.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, 0906 200949 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kenny.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Let me share a call from now. The issue of power crisis, we need to research ourselves. If you don't have stable power supply in this country, Nigeria cannot develop, because this power sector is the backbone. So I can't blame the Minister of Power, because that position that was held is a compensation position, and it was appointed by Mr. President. And Mr. President, he was the one who promised Nigerians during the election in 2023 that, see, if I fail to fix the power supply within 2 years, you should not vote for him for second terms. So we Nigerians, we are still expecting him to fulfill that promise. But now, it's over going to 3 years now. If that Mr. President failed to fulfill it, so we Nigerians, we use our PVC to as a signal for him that he failed that promises. That's my own submission. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, live on Facebook, that's at 32FM949 Ibadan. You can drop us a comment on that platform. I'll take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Yes, this is Tolu, and I'm calling from you.
All right, Tolu. Let's hear you.
Yes, I agree with the brilliant analyst in there. You see, on insecurity, I expect the committee set up by the new IG to have come up with the attempted by now, because we all agreed that the only way out of this minute was to have state police in place. So the fresh killing in Benue is only telling us one thing, that the worst days of insecurity are not yet over in the country, and the only way out is for us to have state police, because security is local. Just imagine that Amotekun Corps is allowed to use sophisticated weapons. No, they will do better than they are doing now. So the government should please do fast on creating state police. Thank you, good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Austin, I'd like you to react to, I think it was Ade's comments about Abia State and the power situation there. He wants to know how Governor Alex Otti was able to do it.
Yeah, that's the misconception within the system. It's just like saying that the president built a refinery in the form of Dangote refinery. It was not Alex Otti that built the power plant. The power plant project started before him. In short, it was a private investment. And it was not the whole of Abia State, it was to power a large section of Aba. It was the power firm of Professor Batunaji, the person that wanted to help us fix the power sector before Jonathan sent him away. That was his company that floated, engineered, and built a private power firm, a private power section in Abia State. So please, it is not Alex Otti that built that power station that is powering Aba, not even the whole of Abia State.
Right.
Aba. So it's a private investment. It is not an investment that you do within 2 years, because people said it's Otti that did it. Under how many years would he have been able to achieve that? That's the truth. So go and fact check it. That power station that is working in Aba is not financed by the state. It was not even public-private partnership. It was fully privately sponsored, privately financed, and privately owned.
Okay. Let's take this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kenny.
Hello, good morning.
This is Benga Mario.
Welcome.
This is Benga Mario calling from Apata. Thank you also for the clarification. And I want to ask as well, the governor of Niger State, Governor Bago, do you know that he has disconnected his state from the national grid and was able to generate power, like as I learned, that he generates close to 24 hours on a daily basis for Niger State? And what I learned is that the whole state has disengaged themselves from the national grid. So cannot here as well help us to verify this fact as well. If Governor Babu can do that as well, what happened to some other states? Can they tap from the knowledge that Governor Babu had? And lastly, Austin, I'm trying to take a research on you, Austin. Austin, don't you think it is fit to be in a political contest in this country? Because I think you have something to offer us in this country, going by your knowledge, going by your wisdom and all that you have. Thank you very much and God bless you. In Yamadu Kumapata.
All right, Binga, thank you for your time. Austin, you want to react? Hello, Austin, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, okay, you want me to react to
Binga? Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I told you earlier the federal government has come up with the federal government has come up with a power initiative. One of the major problems that we are about to deal with over the years is the bureaucracy surrounding the national grid. I keep saying this. People like the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor of Lagos State, people like Bukola Saraki, the governor of Kwara State then, invested millions of dollars on independent power projects. It was the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua that truncated that particular initiative. Obasanjo bettered the initiative before he left office, that individual states could generate their power. Do you know the politics of the national grid? It's just like the revenue sharing formula, where some people will bring nothing and get a lot of things, and some people will bring a lot of things and at the end of the day get very little. That's it, because if you are able to generate power as a state, for example, you have to transmit to the national grid. The national grid will distribute across the country. Now there is a power policy. It was former President Muhammadu Buhari that signed it into law that decentralized that particular policy. And this government is trying to implement that policy, allowing state licenses. If you look at it now, that aspect of the power sector is no longer on the exclusive legislative list.
Right.
That is, that power has been devolved. So state can go all out to invest in power sector. I learned that the governor of Oyo State, Governor 𝐶èyí Mákindé, is also working in that direction, trying to build a power station within Oyo State, the one that can be able to be beneficial. Now it is what you get, what you invest in, what you generate that you are going to get, because the policy of the national grid, the federal government has technically taken that away, giving states like a license to pursue their power initiative. That is how it should be. In advanced country, communities, agencies generate their power. I know of a particular first generation bank in Nigeria that generates power in their head office. They generate their own power by themselves. That is how it should be.
All right, Austin, before we go, can you verify, because I can't find anything on it, Governor Bago disengaging from the national grid? I don't seem to find anything. Can you verify that? Do you know
I don't also have the information too, as much, if whatever we're able to lay our hands on, our hobby is to educate our people,
right,
is to give them the best in terms of adequate information. I don't have anything about that as I speak now.
All right.
But what I have is that the federal government has taken care of that aspect, giving states constitutional enablement to be able to
invest Austin, we have to
power infrastructure that will better their lives.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much, Austin, for your time. The Papers Review returns on Monday. That's at 6:30 a.m. I'm Ken.